Welcome back. Well, we have Pat Mycone here, as well as Ro Kendall, and they're here on behalf of the Republican Club. Well, welcome both of you. Nice to see you. How are you?
Oh, we're great.
You.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
Lisa.
us.
Good. Well, we've got a great opportunity here where everyone can meet our district attorney, and it's coming up here in about a week, and you're here to talk about that. But before we get into that, just tell me a little bit about yourselves. I know we've had you on before, but just real quick, tell me a little bit about each of you and how you got involved with the club.
Okay.
You'll start.
I followed Pat. I was with her at Tustin. I was a member of the Tustin Federated. And when she moved to Laguna Woods, I said, well, I want to go where Pat goes. So here I am.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm so grateful to have her.
Thank you.
Lisa, I've been involved in politics only about 13 years. I got involved during the Tea Party time, and I became a member of the Tustin area Republican Women doing membership there. Okay. Then I became president, and now coming over here, there was an opening for presidency, so it was kind of a natural place for me to come. But I'm really enjoying the role, and we have a great board and wonderful members in our community. So
Well,
it's very exciting.
you're having great events where there's lots of speakers and speaking to the topics that are certainly of concern to our residents. Now, of course, one of the things that is kind of a scary time is you think you're answering a call for something that could be related. However, it's turning out to be scams. I mean, that's a lot of it, right?
Yes.
And then another topic I know you want to talk about is elder abuse, which is so scary because here you're placing a loved one into a facility that you think is okay, right? But not necessarily so. Or you're hiring an agency to come to your home and things aren't going as well as you had hoped. So let's touch a little bit about that. So for the particular topic that Todd Spitzer is going to be coming, it's going to be mostly about scams, is that correct? And elder abuse, both?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so tell me a little bit about the meeting and how that will go.
Well, Todd will be coming, and it seems like he's going to be doing mainly an overview. We'll hear from him, and I think our villagers want to hear from him because crime is up, Lisa.
Right.
In the United States, in Orange County. I mean, we've been a pretty protected. His day-to-day, the day-to-day primary goal of the DA is to protect the community, safety for the public. And I was looking online, we only have 2018 statistics that I can see online. So I'm looking forward to having Todd update us on the latest because I hear of people saying crime is up, especially in cities like Anaheim, Laguna, Irvine.
Yeah.
And even in Laguna Woods, I know people report crime. So I think that's a major concern for all of us.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to him updating us on that.
Okay, so he'll give the latest and greatest on that one, so that's good. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the scams that I know he will be discussing. What are some of the concerns or some of the scams that your residents have come across?
I have actually been a victim of a scam.
Oh boy.
I was on my computer one day and I clicked on a website and bells, whistles went off, and I tell you, it was very alarming, very concerning, and I actually fell victim to it and wound up going over to the bank and giving money.
Oh, shit.
And I thought I was street smart, so I can see how myself, who I thought was pretty street smart, was able to handle it. My son was arriving. He'd arrived 15 minutes after that, got on the phone with the people.
Oh.
And he works in the IT business, so he handled it and helped me through it. Oh. So this was real for me.
Yeah.
And I know what's happening with our villagers who maybe they're more savvy than me, but some aren't. So it's something to be concerned about.
Well, we were just showing a slide about protecting yourself on the phone. Yeah. And oftentimes they ask for a lot of information where you just don't give that information. I mean,
you're right. That's key, Lisa.
Because the key thing is, you're a lot of those folks, like your bank or the IRS or Social Security or Medicare or any of those, are not going to call you. They're not going to physically call you. They're going to send you a letter in the mail before they call you, right?
Yes,
correct.
That's key.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, good. So, but you had a computer issue. It wasn't over the phone. So, to give our residents kind of a brief understanding, what was it that started going off? Were they saying that what was it?
It was a loud alarm, bells and whistles, and turn off your phone. He didn't want me on the phone. Do not call.
On your computer it said,
the
okay.
computer, and I didn't know. My son said, in the future, just turn off your computer.
Yeah.
Just unplug it, and that's what you do.
Okay.
But he was saying, don't call. And my son was arriving, and he said not to call him, so I didn't. And then when I went over and gave my $500 with a credit card at Rite Aid, which don't ever do that.
Oh, isn't that crazy?
Yes, I was not able to recoup it actually because it wasn't the bank's fault.
Right.
So it was a lesson learned for me.
Okay, well, now you know. Unfortunately, at least it was only $500.
Yes.
And
Yes.
not more.
Yes.
Now, let's talk a little bit about, we actually showed one other slide about social media because, oftentimes people love to post where they're going, where they're at, and that's dangerous because someone can rob you.
Yes.
Right? And so he's going to touch a little bit about that.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, great. And let's talk a little about the elder abuse. What are some things that he'll be discussing?
Well, first of all, the definition of elder abuse is people over the age of 65. So that's good to know. If you're only 40, you're not going to be abused as an elder.
Most likely.
Most likely. But there's also different types of abuse in terms of being a felony or a misdemeanor. There's all kinds of things that, as you say, we entrust caregivers, facilities, and I really believe that every person that's there needs an advocate to prevent this kind of situation.
Right.
And it's, what else do I have here? We have to file a case with the police department, and he's going to tell us how to do that, and then it'll be submitted to the DA's office.
Okay,
so
good.
First you have to file and then submit to his office.
Okay.
And they will prosecute.
Okay.
If there's a chance that they can get a prosecution, of course. And it's a challenge because often it's on a one-on-one basis.
Right.
You don't have a lot of witnesses.
Yeah.
So if you have someone in that situation, it might be best to, there's a lot of cameras these days that can be
Hidden
utilized.
cameras are pretty small now.
Yes.
You can't tell what they are. Yeah. So,
So
I mean, that's unfortunate, right, that we have to go to those
Yes.
measures, but it certainly is a good idea. So let's take a look at the information one more time. So Todd Spitzer is going to be speaking at your March 3rd meeting, and that's at Clubhouse 5. You guys are meeting at 11 for social hour. Then you start your meeting at 11:30, lunch at 12:30. And now, how do they get in touch with you to be able to go to the meeting?
Well, they can just call our Patty Zingaro. She is our reservations person, and or they can just. We ask them to mail their checks this Friday, which is tomorrow. Mail their checks in. They have the PO box number. We have it. It's not up on the screen, but
and then there's also phone numbers too that people could contact as well.
Yes, and we've just added Zelle, the opportunity for our members to use Zelle to do it a few days before.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, we've got everything showing on the screen now, so if anyone has any questions, they can always get in touch with you guys.
Yes.
And we appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank
you,
you
Lisa. We're
so
so
much,
grateful.
Lisa.
All right. If you want more information about the Republican Club and the upcoming event, you can always go to the LagunaWoodsVillage.com website and go to clubs and type in Republican Club, and that will have all the latest information about the meeting as well as what they're doing. We'll be right back.